You're living a lie, and you know it. Every morning you wake up feeling like something's missing, like you're playing a role that was never meant for you, like you're trapped in someone else's life, while your real self screams from behind invisible bars. Most people die without ever discovering why they were born. But Rumi knew, and what he discovered will shatter everything you think you know about your existence. Here's the forbidden truth they don't want you to know. You weren't born to chase money, status, or approval. You weren't born to survive. You were born for something so profound, so revolutionary, that if you truly understood it, you'd never live the same way again. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why you're here, and more importantly, what you're supposed to do about it. In 1244, a wandering dervish named Shams walked into Rumi's life and asked him one question that changed everything. But before I tell you what that question was, you need to understand something darker. You've been programmed to believe your purpose is external. Get the job, find the partner, buy the house, win the game. But every single person who has ever achieved these things tells the same story. The emptiness remains. Why? Because you're looking in the wrong direction. Rumi discovered that there's an ancient Islamic saying that reveals the deepest secret of existence. The divine says, "I was a hidden treasure and I loved to be known, so I created the world's visible and invisible." Think about that. You exist because the universe wanted to know itself through your eyes. You're not an accident. You're not a mistake. You're a unique expression of something infinite trying to experience itself. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people spend their entire lives running from this responsibility. When Shams met Rumi, he asked him, who was the greater mystic, Bayazid or Muhammad? Rumi gave the scholarly answer, but Shams looked into his soul and said, Muhammad was greater because Bayazid could be satisfied with a single gulp of the divine. But Muhammad's thirst could never be quenched. That question broke Rumi's world apart, because it revealed something terrifying. You can be satisfied with less. You can accept the shallow life. You can drink from puddles when oceans are calling your name. Most people choose the puddle. It's safer. It's predictable. It doesn't demand transformation, but satisfaction with less is spiritual death. It's choosing to die while you're still breathing. Rumi realized that the mystic who could never be satisfied was actually closer to truth, because divine love is infinite, and if you're truly connected to your purpose, you'll never stop growing, never stop expanding, never stop becoming more than you were yesterday. Are you satisfied with your puddle? Or are you ready for the ocean? Here's what Rumi discovered about why you feel so disconnected from your purpose. You're not living as yourself. You're living as your ego. Your ego is that voice in your head that's constantly comparing, constantly fearful, constantly trying to protect an image that isn't even real. It's the part of you that needs to be right, needs to be better than others, needs external validation to feel worth. But your ego isn't you. It's a psychological construct designed for survival, not for thriving. Rumi called this the false self, the collection of thoughts, fears, and desires that keep you trapped in patterns that have nothing to do with why you're actually here. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you strengthen the false self. Every time you avoid difficult conversations, you feed the false self. Every time you pretend to be someone you're not for approval, you give the false self more power over your life. And the false self has one goal: to keep you small, safe, and disconnected from your true purpose. But here's the thing your ego doesn't want you to know. It's not real. It's just a habit. A very strong, very convincing habit that you can change. So what is your real purpose? Why were you actually born into this life? Rumi discovered that every human being is born with one fundamental mission: to be a perfect mirror of divine love. Not romantic love, not conditional love, divine love. Unconditional, boundless, transformative love that sees the sacred in everything. You are born to love so completely that your presence changes the energy of every room you enter. You are born to see beauty where others see problems. You are born to be so connected to Source that your very existence becomes a gift to the world. But here's the catch. This kind of love requires you to die to everything that isn't love. Die to your need to be right. Die to your need to control outcomes. Die to your fear of what others think. Die to the stories you tell yourself about why you can't step into your greatness. This is why most people never discover their purpose, because it requires a death. The death of who you think you are to become who you actually are. But how do you actually do this? How do you move from the false self to your authentic purpose? Rumi gave us a blueprint, and it's simpler than you think, but harder than anything you've ever done. First, you must learn to observe your thoughts without believing them. Your thoughts are not you. They're just mental events happening in your consciousness. Most of your thoughts are repetitive, fear-based, and completely disconnected from reality. Start watching your thoughts like you're watching clouds pass in the sky. Don't judge them, don't fight them. Just notice them. This breaks the unconscious pattern of being controlled by every random thought that enters your mind. Second, you must cultivate presence. Your purpose can only be discovered and expressed in this moment, not in memories of the past or fantasies about the future. Right here, right now. Every time your mind pulls you away from the present moment, gently bring it back. This is not meditation. This is training your consciousness to live where life actually happens. Third, you must practice unconditional love. Start small. Love the person who cuts you off in traffic. Love the family member who triggers you. Love the parts of yourself you've been trying to hide or fix. This isn't about being nice. This is about recognizing the divine spark in everything and everyone, even when they're not showing it to you. Rumi taught that every relationship, every challenge, every experience you have is a mirror showing you exactly what you need to see to grow into your purpose. The person who makes you angry, they're showing you where you're still attached to control. The situation that scares you, it's showing you where you're still choosing safety over growth. The dream you keep putting off, it's showing you where you're still choosing the false self over your authentic expression. Nothing in your life is random. Everything is perfectly designed to help you remember who you really are. But most people see mirrors and think they're seeing reality. They blame the mirror instead of looking at what it's reflecting. Your purpose becomes clear when you stop fighting the mirrors and start learning from them. Here's what Rumi knew that most spiritual teachers won't tell you. Living your purpose is an act of rebellion. It's rebelling against a world that wants you to stay small, stay distracted, stay dependent on external systems for your worth and meaning. When you live from divine love, you become dangerous to systems built on fear and control. When you stop needing approval, You become immune to manipulation. When you know your worth comes from source, you can't be bought, sold, or convinced to betray your values. This is why society doesn't want you to discover your purpose. Happy, fulfilled people don't make good consumers. People connected to source don't need to buy meaning from the marketplace. Your purpose is your freedom, and your freedom threatens every system designed to keep you enslaved. So here's your moment of truth. You can keep living the lie. Keep chasing external validation. Keep pretending that the next achievement, the next purchase, the next relationship will finally make you feel complete. Or you can choose the path Rumi walked, the path of love, the path of authenticity, the path of purpose. But understand this: once you choose the real path, there's no going back. Once you taste authentic living, the fake life becomes unbearable. Once you connect with your true purpose, settling for anything less becomes impossible. You were not born to be mediocre. You were not born to fit in. You were not born to make others comfortable with your smallness. You were born to be a revolutionary of love, a warrior of authenticity, a living example of what humans are capable of when they stop living from fear and start living from source. The question is not whether you're capable of this. The question is whether you're brave enough to choose it. Rumi left us with one final piece of wisdom. He said, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." What is that strange pull in your life? What keeps calling you forward even when logic tells you to stay safe? What makes you feel most alive, most authentic, most connected to something greater than yourself? That's not a coincidence. That's your purpose trying to emerge. Your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is simple but not easy. For the next 7 days, I want you to act as if your purpose is to be a perfect mirror of divine love. In every interaction, in every decision, in every moment of choosing between fear and love. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you understand everything. Don't wait until the path is clear. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Because the world doesn't need another person playing it safe. The world needs you to remember why you're here. And it needs you to have the courage to live like it matters. Your life is not a practice round. This is it. This is your chance to discover and express the unique gift that is your existence. Will you take it? Or will you let another day pass living someone else's life? The choice is yours. But choose quickly. Because every moment you spend living from the false self is a moment of your real life you'll never get back. Rumi found his purpose at 37. What's your excuse? Stop waiting. Start becoming. Your authentic self is the greatest gift you can give to a world desperate for real people living real lives. The hidden treasure wants to be known, and it's waiting to be revealed through you. What are you going to do about it?